Hi, I'm Xenowave, and today I'm going to talk about intervals. An interval is the distance between two notes, and intervals are defined by the amount of half steps it takes to go from one note to another. So for example, if I have the notes C and E, to find this interval, all I have to do is start counting half steps from C. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It took me 4 half steps to reach E. So if I have 4 half steps or 4 semitones, if we look at this list I made over here, 4 semitones is a major third. Okay, so before we get into any further examples, I just want to show you all the intervals first. So what I'm going to do is just highlight the interval and then play it. Just pay attention to the keyboard because that's what we really need to focus on. Okay, so here's unison, which is 0 semitones, which also means that the same note is being played. Here's a minor second, which is just 1 semitone, also known as a half step. Here's a major second, which is 2 semitones, also known as a whole step. Here's a minor third, which is 3 semitones. Here's a major third, which is 4 semitones, as we saw in the previous example between C and E. Here's a perfect fourth, which is 5 semitones. Here's the augmented fourth, also known as a tritone or diminished fifth, and this is 6 semitones, which actually perfectly splits the octave. Here is the perfect fifth, which is 7 semitones. Here's a minor sixth, which is 8 semitones. Here is the major sixth, which is 9 semitones. Here's a minor seventh, which is 10 semitones. Here's the major seventh, which is 11 semitones. Here is the perfect octave, which is 12 semitones. I just want to note that an octave is whenever a note repeats on the keyboard. So if I pick D, for example, the next octave of D is here. Or the octave below this D is right here. Here we have a minor ninth, which is 13 semitones, which is just a minor second plus an octave, which just means that from our reference note, or our starting note, in this case C, we go up a minor second, and then we go up an octave from that minor second. And there's our minor ninth. So here's our minor ninth, which is 13 semitones. Here's our major ninth, which is 14 semitones, which is just the major second plus an octave. Here is the minor tenth, which is 15 semitones, which is just a minor third plus an octave. Here's the major tenth, which is 16 semitones, which is a major third plus an octave. Here's the perfect 11th, which is 17 semitones, which is just a perfect fourth plus an octave. Here's the augmented 11th, which is 18 semitones, which is just a tritone plus an octave. Here's the perfect 12th, which is 19 semitones, which is just a perfect fifth plus an octave. Here's the minor 13th, which is 20 semitones, which is just a minor sixth plus an octave. Here's the major 13th, which is 21 semitones, and this is just the major sixth plus an octave. Here's the minor 14th, which is 22 semitones, which is just the minor seventh plus an octave. Here's a major 14th, which is 23 semitones, which is just the major seventh put up an octave. And finally, here's the perfect 15th, which is 24 semitones, which is just 2 octaves above our target note. Alright, perfect. So we've seen and heard all of these intervals across the span of 2 octaves. So let's just go over some examples. So let's try F and F sharp. So we have F, our starting note, and we'll try F sharp. Our interval is however many semitones it took to get to F sharp, which is just, in this case, 1. So 1 semitone is a minor second. So let's try E and C. To count this interval, all we do is start counting the half steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so that's 8 semitones. So what does that correspond to? Oh, the minor 6. So now we know that E and C is a minor 6. Notice how E and C are in different order. So this is what we call an inversion. That was our first example, right? all I did was put C up an octave, and we have a different interval. So if we do this for all of the intervals, we'll actually find that there are inverted versions of them. So for example, if we have a fifth, if I put C up an octave, we'll have a fourth now. So that means that an inverted fifth is just a perfect fourth, and vice versa actually. If we have a fourth, if I put C up an octave, I now have a fifth. If you just do the semitone counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, what do we know? We have our perfect fifth. And this applies to all intervals. I don't think I'm going to go over all of that, but that's the concept you need to know. If you put the bottom note up an octave, you will have the inversion of that interval. That's a very important concept as we get into scales and chords in the future. Okay, so let's go over a couple more examples, like E and A. Alright, so we have E, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it takes 5 semitones to get from E to A, so it has to be a perfect fourth. Let's try G and A. So we have G, and 1, 2. Okay, 2 semitones, so it has to be a major second. Okay, alright, E flat and C. So we have E flat, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 semitones to get to C. So we have a major 6. Okay, so for this last section, I'm going to play some melodies, and I want you to identify each interval that makes up the melody. Real quick, I just wanted to show that you won't be focusing on one note. You'll always be focusing on the relationship between two notes. So you'll be finding the interval between this C and this C, and then the interval between this C and this A sharp, and then the interval between this A sharp and this F, and then the interval between this F and this A sharp, and then the interval between this A sharp and A sharp, and then A. So for the first melody, I have the first two intervals written down. So I have unison because the C repeats, and then I have major second because the C goes down a major second to A sharp. So in the comments, I want you to write down the full melody in this notation using the knowledge we have from this page. Feel free to take a screenshot and reference that as you decipher this melody. So I'm going to play this melody with just the keyboard showing, and I'm going to play it with the piano roll showing as well. Alright, here we go. Alright, piano roll, if that helps you. Alright, take your time to figure that out, and if you get it right, the first person to get it right will have their comment pinned. Alright, so for this next melody, again, we just really want to get the point across. We have this G and then the D. So I also put out a hint for the first two intervals. So between this G and the D, we have a perfect fifth. And then between this D and the C, we have major second. So I'm just going to play with the key, just showing the keyboard. Piano roll. Alright, I believe that's pretty much what I had to say. Well, actually, if we go back here, any interval past an octave is just called a compound interval because you basically combine these intervals plus that octave I was talking about earlier. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. And if you have any questions, let me know, and have a great day.